you want to be. I'm going to say it might actually, there's the boss, might be a good idea to, because you've obviously both got health issues, you know, like, I don't know whether you've got a deep freezer.
Yeah, we need a freezer, more freezer space.
Yeah, I mean, it might not be suitable for you at the moment, but maybe once you're set up, you know, and obviously if you're moving country, you know, you might have that extra room, but, you know, get the deep freezer when you are capable, you know, do that big cook up and freeze, because I'm sure it's going to come in handy.
Oh, yeah. I'll be around all the olds, so I'll be like, Mum, cook me dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm
She's on a lounge today.
I'm what?
You're on a lounge today.
I'm on the lounge today. I didn't want to make my husband have to be really quiet in the kitchen, so I thought I'll come in here and then I can just go like this afterwards. Oh, my youngest jumped in bed with me at I have no idea what time.
Yeah.
Kicked in the head and wished and all the rest of it. So
Yes.
it's not been a good week of sleep, but never mind.
Never is with these hustles.
No, that's right. That's right. Yeah. How good was last night? Isn't that amazing?
So good. So good.
We had some devastating news on that, though. It didn't record.
What?
No, it didn't. Did you see the record button flashing? It flashed the whole time.
Someone's in the kitchen.
Anywhere. I nearly cried.
Is it supposed to flash though? Because mine's not flashing right now. It's just a solid button.
Yeah,
I've got flashing.
Yeah. And last night it was flashing. Stephanie said she saw it flashing. Because when you said record, I definitely made sure I hit it.
Yeah.
The call, I had to click stop record. Like, the stop record button wouldn't even be there if it wasn't recording, right?
Yeah.
So I was nearly crying. I was nearly in tears. I said, Adrian, you have to find it. But he couldn't find it. It's just not there. I've got 2 minutes at the start.
Back to call it all dumb again.
Yeah. It was very disappointing. That was amazing.
Yeah. Someone's getting breakfast ready.
Sonia's clearly multitasking.
I'm trying to figure out who it is. There we go. It was Sonia. All right. Well, considering it is past time, we might get started. Morning, Bridget. Thanks for that. Morning, Wendy. Morning, Sonia.
Morning. Good morning, Amber. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Did you survive the weather on your outing to the live event last night?
Oh my gosh, half Anzac Highway was closed off coming back.
Really?
Oh, outside of in near the Cornews there.
Yeah.
It was completely gone. There must have been a blockage in the drains.
Wow.
Yeah, it was horrendous. But anyway, we got through it.
I saw a picture this morning on South Aussie with Cozzy of Victoria Square, and it was just a bin in the middle of the street, and it was just jam-packed full of these broken umbrellas.
Oh my gosh. Did you cop it up there?
No. Like, we had rain and it was cold, but not like that. Not like that.
No, it's pretty horrendous.
Yeah.
So it scared a lot of people off yesterday.
Morning, Beth.
Tired this morning.
Yeah. Thursday, we're nearly through it. Well done, everyone.
Yeah, got a headache. Walking up with a headache.
No, that's never good.
No. I'm all ears.
Pardon?
I'm all ears. I just might not speak much.
Good morning, Paulini. Welcome. And Jamie and Katrina. All right, let's get started. I just wanted to recap on last night and how bloody good it was. It was absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed last night's call. So a big thanks to Stephanie for everything that all your wisdom that you imparted to us last night. And I went to bed thinking about what you were saying, and I really, really loved what you had to say about, and it's so true, to stop being so hard on ourselves when things don't go as planned or we don't live up to our own expectations. And then Peter's chat on just team and, how to build a really solid, close-knit team. I really enjoyed that talk, and I thought he had some fantastic points. Really happy that he came on board. So I cried myself to sleep because it somehow didn't record, even though the recording button was on. I have witnesses. It's on my Facebook Live. There you go. It's recording on my Facebook Live, but I cannot find the conversion anywhere. So sorry for those guys that missed it. It was a phenomenal call, but that's just probably going to make you jealous, so I'll stop talking about it now. Okie dokie, on to today's information. Let me share my screen with everybody. Today I wanted to have a chat with you about habits of successful people. Now, you might have heard this, in regards to Oprah and other people, and these are things that they've implemented, and they do give credit to these things for some of their success. If you want to be successful, you have to do what successful people do. So if you've got somebody in your life that you want to copy or emulate, they've done what you want to do, get in contact with them and say, how did you do it? What are your 5 tips to actually being successful and doing what you did? Be consistent with those actions. So do them on a daily basis, and depending on what they are, weekends are no different. You have to do them every single day. Make a commitment and stick to it. So you've got your goal, you've got the tools that you need to get there. It just depends how committed you are, really. Because if you're not committed, you won't do the tasks and you won't actually achieve your dreams and your goals. Know why you're doing it and what you're working towards. So have a really, really clear goal. And you can Google, goal setting, and you can see there that, you need to have measurable goals. And to reach a big goal, it's a really good idea if you have small daily goals and then weekly goals and then monthly goals. And that way you can celebrate too with a massive big bottle of wine every time you reach one, every week. Have fun along the way, and don't do it alone. Grab some people and do it with you. And that's what this business is all about. This business is about people. It's about making money, but it's about having a hell of a lot of fun along the way. And I think you can all agree that our live events and our conferences and our free trips and our sapphire retreats are, some of the best times I've ever had anyway. So, if you've ever won a free trip with Janesh, you'll know that it's just one big party, and it's pretty amazing. And just know that you aren't any different. You're no different to Oprah. You're no different to, who's another successful person I can talk about? The Virgin guy, his name escapes me right now. You're no different to those people. You may have even had a better start to life than some of those people. It's all about mindset, and it's all about what you want. Some people, I'm going to use my mum as an example. Some people are just content to bring up a beautiful family and help other people. And that's my mum. Her biggest goal in life probably was to go to England. And, she did that this year with Aaron and his family. So, you know, she's reached that goal, and she probably wouldn't mind going back to the same place. But everybody has different goals and dreams, but everybody on this call this morning wants more for themselves and more for their life, more for their family. And so you have to do specific things to reach those goals. And so let's talk about some of those this morning. So the common habits of highly successful people. And do you know the biggest one that keeps coming up when I read about these things, when I research these things, if you read, you know, what's the one tip that you'd recommend people do to become more successful? And it's waking up early. And we all know that the early bird catches the worm. Successful people wake up early. It's just a fact. The earlier they begin their day, the more time they have to get things accomplished. So you compare that with somebody who gets out of bed, I'm going to say half an hour before you've got to be at work. You sort of just go to work, come home, watch TV, go to work, come home, watch TV. There's no direction in your life. Who do you think is going to be more positive? Who do you think is going to be more able to deal with whatever the day throws at them? Who do you think is going to be able to achieve more? You know, that person who wakes up super early, spends some time thinking about the goals that you want to achieve and thinking and sort of visualizing you already being there. Or the person who, you know, waits till the last possible minute, rushes around in the morning and gets to work and they're stressed already. Regular exercise. This is really important, and it doesn't have to be, you know, boxercise or, you know, I don't know, kick sessions. You know, it's just go for a walk. You know, go for a walk. We all know how it feels, how much better we feel if you get up early and go for a walk in the morning. You feel amazing. Sue would know. She's been doing this regularly over the last couple of months. It makes you feel good about yourself. It keeps your body healthy. Gets those good hormones flowing, the serotonin or whatever it is, and it makes your mind alert, and it teaches you discipline as well. If you can't exercise in the morning, you can always find snippets of time during your day. So the usual things that people tell you to do: park further away, take the stairs. If you're at work, go for a walk at lunchtime. Listen to some personal development on your headphones while you're actually going out walking. And the fresh air and vitamin D will help you. Have a balanced life. I think we sort of touched on this a little bit last night, and I think it's just so important. You know, if you're doing this for not only yourself but for your family as well, you don't want to miss out on spending time with them, and you don't want to miss out on really special times with them while you're working towards your goal. What's the point of that? Successful people don't have work on their agenda all the time. They set time apart for their family and themselves. The day-to-day regimen of successful people is not that hard to master. Anyone can do it. Not everybody has the proper mindset to see it through. And, you know, time and time again, we come back to that word of mindset. It's all about your positive mindset, your successful mindset, and the you know, the thinking that you've actually already made it. So act like you've already made it. Plan your day the night before. I love this one, and I do this one, not all the time. So I need to be more consistent with this one, but it actually really, really helps. So in our industry, in our business, just some tips, you know, write down who you're going to call the next day. Write their names down and write their phone numbers down. You've got that big list of people there. Doesn't matter if you've already got it on your, you know, your major list. Write down the people who you're going to call the next day. A really good thing to do this is to either get a journal or a dated diary, and then on those, you know, so Friday you can write down exactly who you're going to call, what personal development you're going to do, maybe even what exercise you're going to do, what other priorities you've got in life for that particular day. And then you can tick them off as you go along, and it makes you feel like you are succeeding. If you don't do this, you're sort of just, I'm not sure how I'm going. You know, sometimes I do what I think I should do and sometimes I don't. But if you've got those written down and you tick them off, you know how you're going. You can assess how you're going. If you've got 4 weeks and you've got no ticks, you know that you're not doing a very good job. But, you know, if you've got ticks on at least some of the things every single day, you know that you're working towards that end goal. Invest in yourself. This is actually one that I struggled with at the start, investing in yourself. So network, educate yourself, invest in relationships, spirituality, reflection, take care of your physical and mental health. This is one that I struggled with. I thought, you know, I'll just do the actions, you know, those physical actions that are going to, increase my business and build it, and I'll be fine. But you really do need to take care of your whole self. And that's where that reflection comes in, really sitting down and thinking about your why, really working out why you're doing it, and I guess what is your ultimate goal? You know, I've spoken to people and they've said, you know, I just want to reach Ruby in our business, the Ruby level. And other people have said, I'm going all the way. I'm going to, you know, crown diamond. I'm gonna take over the boys. Good luck with that. But yeah, everybody's different, and you have to sit down and work that out for yourself. But networking, huge benefit, obviously, in this business, because that's what it's all about. So our live events, but don't limit yourself to our live events. Go out to other things. Meetup.com is getting really huge, and that's got meetups from, you know, mums in the northern suburbs meetup to people starting new small business meetups to people who play soccer meetups. You know, just everything. And we all know that if you go along to these meetups and you talk to people and you get to know them and you get their details, they become your warm market then. So, you know, your list is forever growing. Master your time. This is a key in forward planning. If you forward plan, you are going to be better with time management. And again, something I struggled with initially. And Aaron actually gave me a few tips on this yesterday. So, you know, he said, we had a bit of a talk and spoke about what regions I probably should focus on next. And, you know, he said, you know, maybe on a Thursday night from 8 until 10, after the girls are in bed, maybe you need to focus on India and building some relationships with people over there. And then the rest of the time, you focus on your local market. Or, you know, 20% of the time you focus on building Perth, because Perth is really undiscovered territory for us now. So you really need to plan your time and stick to that. So I recommend you get a diary and just plan it all out. Find a mentor who has done what you want to do. Question the hell out of them. So give them a call, meet them for coffee, grill them, absolutely grill them. And I know that our leaders in Jeunesse are going to be more than happy for you to do this. Give them a call and set up a time to go through things. Tell them where you're at, tell them where you want to be, and ask them what was their day like when they were at the same position you're in right now with your business. So what did they do on a daily basis to build their business from where you are to where they are? Minimize distractions. Sometimes that's easier said than done. I'll give you an example of this. Sometimes I work from my kitchen table, more often than not probably, because the Wi-Fi in my office isn't terrific. But I have a lovely office all set up, and more often than not, though, I am in my kitchen. And, you know, I live in a small country town, so people just drop by, knocks on the door, all this sort of stuff. And, you know, I'd answer it. It'd be a friend coming over for coffee, or someone coming to chat about, you know, some of the fundraising we're doing for the school, you know, examples like that. Well, last week I was working and I was in this awesome headspace and I was in a zone, and I got a knock at the door, and I just ignored it. I didn't care who it was. I just ignored it, and they kept knocking because they knew I was home. They knew I was here. If my car's in the driveway, generally, unless I'm, out walking, I'm here. But I didn't answer it. I couldn't. I had to keep going with my work. Get enough rest. Again, probably something that's easier said than done. If you've got kids, let's just put it that way. And I'm having one of those weeks where mine are not sleeping terrifically. But it's really important to get enough rest. It's difficult to be in the right headspace if you don't. And, a lot of us stay up late and do this and that and get up early. But just make sure you look after you. Visualize. This is a really big one, and something that I probably didn't do for quite a while because I thought it was a bit silly. But now I've realised the power of visualisation, and it's a really, really powerful tool. So if you are working your way to Sapphire, if you've not reached that Sapphire level yet, sit down and visualise you getting there. Visualise you being up on stage and getting your Sapphire pin and being rewarded, and your uplines down there, taking a photo of you. And what you need to do when you visualize is actually get into your emotion. So visualize your emotion. Feel how it would feel to be up on that stage and being congratulated for reaching Sapphire. Really, really important, that one. I was actually given my Sapphire pin by Wendy and Randy in Melbourne at the conference, and that was amazing. So now when I visualize going ruby, emerald, diamond, it's Wendy and Randy. I take it a step further when I reach diamond and I'm out at a restaurant having a private dinner with Wendy and Randy, those sort of things. But imagine how that feels and feel those emotions. And affirmations, I don't think people do these enough. Write down some affirmations, pin them up and say them to yourself every single day until you just go, well, yeah, I already believe that. So you've got to say them to yourself until you genuinely believe what you're telling yourself. Really important. And I know that I've touched on this before, but I honestly, if you haven't read it, I can't recommend it enough, this book. So a great place to start is by reading The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. It's just brilliant. The Miracle Morning routine incorporates so many of these things that the highly successful people do, and I can personally guarantee it works in more ways than one. It makes you really grateful for what you've already got. It makes you realise the gifts that you've already been given. It makes you realise that maybe you're even starting a few steps ahead of some other people. So you've got to be grateful for that. And as I said to you guys the other night, I did an experiment. I think I said it on my Facebook Live. And I did these things in the Miracle Morning. I did the savers for a week. And I had a massively productive and positive week. And so I experimented and I didn't do them the next week. And, it just sort of went back to what my normal was. So seriously, if there's one thing that you do today, and maybe I should make it a challenge, is either download or buy that book. You can get it on amazon.com.au. And if you've got like a book app on your phone, you can get it there. He's also got a website with a huge amount of information. So just Google The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. Okay, let's get to today's challenges. We've got 2 days left of challenges. Do another Facebook Live. Are you surprised? Probably not. But you know that my goal is to get you more comfortable with doing those and to get your brand out there. And I think it was, who was it the other day who put a post in the group and said that they had 4 friend requests just from doing their first Facebook Live. And that's pretty cool. You're getting your name out there. You can see the power of Facebook when you do that. So today, if you don't have one, if you don't do this already, get a journal. Plan your tomorrow. Plan your calls, plan your tasks, plan your priorities. If you have to go out to a meeting, plan that. Put it in there. If you are having lunch with a friend, put that in there, because then you know that that's time that you can't commit to building your business and that you have to find it somewhere else in the day. Tomorrow night, plan for the next day and do it again and again and again and again until it becomes a habit for you, and tick off your tasks as you do them, as we spoke about. The other thing that we need to do today is write 5 affirmations. And I really want these to reflect where you are currently. And, you know, you can have 2 on your business, you can have the rest on your personal goals, health and well-being, fitness, family, relationships, whatever you like. Just write 5 affirmations and put them up in a place that you'll see them every morning. And what I want you to do is actually post a photo in our group of your list and where it is. But most importantly, good morning. Most importantly, say them aloud to yourself every single day. Yeah, but with your headphones. Can you say good morning? So say them aloud to yourself every day until you believe them. And then you can write new affirmations and change those affirmations to suit where you are then. The other thing that I'd really love you guys to do is write a list of 5 books that you commit to read before the end of this year. Preferably personal development books, not, you know, Mills and Boon. Okay. And if you want to share this with the group, that would be awesome as well, because a lot of people are like, well, I don't know. How do you know what book's good if you don't know what book's good? Amazon.com.au again is a great place to start. Put in network marketing, put in mindset, put in how to succeed in business, put in the 9 habits of highly successful people, put in whatever you like, you know, whatever you're interested in, you know, how to get abs, and then send it to Aaron, because he's always wanted abs and he's never got them. Don't tell him I said that. Yeah, so these are our challenges for today. So take a screenshot of that or write them down. And I really, really would love you to share your affirmations. Put a picture up of your affirmations up on your wall. If you don't want people to see them, that's fine. Make it blurry, but still put a picture up so that we know that you've done that goal for the day. And really commit yourself to saying them aloud to yourself every day. Some people put them in the bathroom, you know, next to the mirror. Some people put them next to their bed. Some people put them on the fridge. It's whatever works for you. But I guarantee you, if you do affirmations, if you do these visualizations, if you get up a little bit earlier and just spend some time, you know, planning for yourself, spend some time in your own head, you'll see a big change. And even if it's only within yourself, it's worth it, in my opinion. So as we've said, every day this week, go out there and be awesome. You guys are awesome. We're on day 4 of our 5-day challenge hustle business booster, and tomorrow is our last day. So make today absolutely awesome. I know that you guys will anyway. Hey, Richard Branson, thank you. Oh my gosh, brain mush. Thank you. And Jamie's written, I literally posted about this today. Jamie, what do you mean?
About early mornings. So I literally posted because since I haven't been going to work, I've been getting up at 7, whereas I was used to getting up at 5:30. And obviously over the last couple of days with this hustle, I've been getting up at 5:30, and I've really been loving my me time to sit and hear the noises of the morning, and it's kind of like my meditation time. So yeah, it was just so weird that you talked about it, because I literally was thinking about it this morning.
Awesome. That's awesome. You know, if you sit there, if you imagine, and you touched on this earlier in the week, if you didn't have this, if you didn't have this goal for the week, you know, you'd probably just be in bed, you know, sleeping the whole time. And, you know, that's not as positive as seeing our lovely faces every day. And,
Absolutely.
and having that goal to work towards. So I'm really impressed that you came on, and I'm really happy that you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad you're running it. I appreciate it lots.
And I'll meet you one day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Alrighty. So how does
Amber,
Emma...
can you hear me okay? I just want to share a
Nice to see you sitting up, Emmy.
I just want to share, this is and you won't be able to see it, but it's a weekly goals and habits template that came from Kiki K. And I've been into, like, for years and years, I've been into very structured approaches in terms of 5-year annual goals, quarterly goals, weekly goals, blah, blah, blah. And what I found was that this particular template's a great one to really be able to look at you planning up front for your week, what your priorities will be, what the activities that you're planning on doing around those top priorities. But I think even further than that, what are the goals and habits that you're wanting to build in? And they've just got a, so down the middle section, down here, they've just got a series of tick boxes. And the examples would be things like yoga classes, gym, drinking 2 litres of water, meditating, and just tick box. So really getting you to think not just what are the goals, and maybe, you know, the things like I need to call this person, I need to call that person, but also what are the things that you can be doing in terms of looking after yourself or your family, getting those and defining your reward for it, because we usually don't put a reward. We beat ourselves up when we don't achieve something, but maybe the reward is actually just taking time out and having a cup of tea and stopping instead of actually doing it on the run. Or maybe it's just being able to have lunch in the sun, you know, something little, but I guess the approach of being able to define that reward up front, so that when you achieve it, you're just doing it and you're saying, I'm celebrating this, or this cup of tea I'm enjoying because I have done this, and that you're teaching yourself that process of being able to constantly have good experiences. The other bit I really love with it, it has gratitudes. So within it, you're saying what you're grateful for, and then for the week, what I've learnt. And so the example here was yoga and meditation make me so much more productive. So the example you guys have just given is, you know, getting up early in the morning allows me to have a much more focused, productive day. And then the next week's top 5 focus areas. So it's something I absolutely love. I think it was about $7 or $8 for the pad of them. Yeah, and I love them.
Thank you for sharing that. I love Kiki K. I could spend like an hour in those stores.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
But that's good. I find it really hard to find, you know, journals or diaries or list things like that actually have everything that I want on them. That one sounds really good with the gratefulness and the, you know, the health goals and all that sort of stuff. I'm sorry. I was going to say I'll take a screenshot of it and stick it in the that'd be great. And just for everybody to know, Kiki K have online shopping too. So I'll be there. Thank you for that, Carolyn. That's awesome. So hopefully everybody's okay doing those challenges today. I look forward to seeing everything pinned up on your wall, and I look forward to knowing what books you're going to read. I'm sure that I'll get a few new ones, and I'm going to do the challenges today as well. Enjoy your Facebook Lives today. I know some of you have already done them. Well done. You preempted the challenge this morning. But have an awesome day. I can't wait to see you guys tonight. And over and out from me.
Thank you, Amber.
Have a good day,
Thank you.
guys.
Have a good day, everyone.
Last night.
What's that?
Did anybody take any notes on what Peter said last night? I was planning to rewatch it again, so I wasn't taking notes.
Me
too.
I reckon Sue was writing her ass off.
Okay, cool. I'll maybe call Sue.
I'm sure Pete would be happy to share.
Good
Sure,
morning.
Pete would be happy to share his script and stuff in the group.
He would be happy to do that.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my apologies for it not recording.
Okay, brilliant.
We have no idea what happened there, but
No. I still don't know what it is, but you know when you've got all this stuff in your head and you
Can't do that.
you think that was awesome, I want to save that, and then you forget.
yeah, exactly. Or even put a post in the group and tag Sue and ask her if she put
Yeah.
notes and we can share it with everyone. That'd be great. All right,
Awesome.
people,
Have a great day, guys.
enjoy your days.
Bye, guys.
You
Bye.
too. See you.
Ciao.
Bye.